This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Dunedin's new hospital will not be a magic panacea according to the Public Health Association. Invercargill filmmakers make it to the 48-hour film competition grand final with a little help from a famous New Zealander. And neighbours fall out over the felling of a macrocarpa tree in Mosgiel. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The Public Health Association doesn't believe Dunedin's new hospital will be a magic panacea. A leading public health specialist says healthcare is a much wider picture than just bricks and mortar. Daryl Baser has the story.
Both major political parties have promised a significant upgrade of Dunedin Hospital, citing a need for it to be improved. The Public Health Association agrees a new hospital is needed, but says buildings only help with a small percentage of the nation's health needs.
But actually, the new hospital won't make much difference, if any, at all to the health of the people of the Southern District and of Dunedin. And that's the key thing we want to focus on. So there's a lot of talk in the health sector at the moment around reducing demand on healthcare services, and there's a lot of effort being put in place to re-engineer the system, it's been called. So look at how patients come into contact with healthcare services and how healthcare services can be more efficient in dealing with them.
Reid says a more holistic approach is needed, as a greater percentage of health relates to how the population lives.
Because if you've got a healthy population, you have a less demand for health services in the first place. So our emphasis is very much on working to build health in the population, in the community, at the same time as addressing illness. We're not saying we don't need a new hospital, we do, but we're saying that that's not about health, that's about treating illness and disease.
He says hospitals are responsible for only 10% of the well-being of a population, with a much larger slice of the equation dependent on the bigger picture.
And then about 40% of the health of communities dictated by what's called social economic factors. So those are things like, how are our communities organised? How easy is it to make friends, to connect with those around us? Do you feel safe on the streets? Do you feel safe using the environment around you? And so it's really important that those are not within the control of the health sector. So it's really important that local and national government are on board with this and understand the important role that they have in creating health where we live, learn, work and play.
Speaking on behalf of the Otago Southland branch of the Public Health Association, Dr. Keith Reid is a public health specialist with many years in the field. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
An unnamed albatross is the last of celebrity albatross Tairoa's brood of 23 babies at the Otago Peninsula Trust colony to fledge this season. Continued growth of the colony has been achieved with more than 54 adults returning. The returning birds will be pair bonding, courting, mating and preparing to bring up this season's chicks. The colony was expecting good numbers of breeding pairs which would begin laying next month. The Department of Conservation webcam has had more than 2 million views since it was launched in January last year. A team of Invercargill filmmakers have made the grand final of the 48-hour film competition. The team's Super Furious Ninja Dragons have been given a wildcard entry into the final thanks to Sir Peter Jackson. Sharon Rees has more.
This group of filmmakers got an official nod from director Sir Peter Jackson after he nominated them as a wildcard entry to the 48-hour film grand finals. In August, the team was given just 48 hours to write, shoot, edit and submit a musical or dance film, and this is part of the result.
We could see he had the coin ready for the drop, but he wasn't expecting us to collect.
The Black Ballet is the first Southland-made film to make the 48-hour grand final.
This morning we found out that we're the first Southland team to get through to the grand final, so that was, that was a nice little bit of, nice wee bonus.
We're pretty excited to be in the grand finals. I've been in a lot of the team members have been in a few different 48s, and this is kind of the first time we've been nominated for this level of prize.
Wildcard entries are films that didn't make the cut at a regional level but are hand-picked by Sir Peter as finalists, something they say is a big compliment to their work.
Sometimes it's almost better than being nominated by the other ones, just because of Peter Jackson's, I guess, prestige and his area in the industry, and we can at least say we've had our film watched by him, which is pretty cool.
Director of photography James Wilkinson also received a nod for the grand final with a Best Cinematography nomination.
Really honoured to be nominated for the award. That's really cool. Really enjoyed the experience, and working with the team was really fun, and it was cool to shoot something in black and white.
The grand final will be held in Auckland on November 11, where the best 15 films, along with Sir Peter's 3 wildcard films, compete for the title of Grand Champion. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Iconic New Zealand confectionery lines Jaffas and Pineapple Lumps are to be made in Australia. Mondelez International says it can't find a New Zealand manufacturer which could produce the necessary quantities. The multinational company says 360 Dunedin people will lose their production roles when the factory closes. Dunedin South MP Claire Curran has stated she doesn't believe Mondelez International ever wanted to keep the historic factory open. The felling of a tree in Mosgiel has frustrated a woman on whose boundary the tree was growing. The tree shared a boundary with a property developer who wanted the tree gone. The South Today went for a look.
This moderate-sized macrocarpa tree was felled with an arborist's chainsaw on Monday. The tree feller was acting on behalf of property developer Brodie Anderson, who plans to build townhouses on his piece of land. The tree happened to be on the boundary shared with local resident Rachel Brinston, who was unhappy with the felling.
We said we liked the tree, but we would let him take it out if a few things were addressed first, like the water table and some fencing, and we've been quite reasonable. But they've just come along and decided to do this.
Brinston was concerned the development seemed to have insufficient provision for the effects of surface water during rainstorms. Every
new development that goes up, of course, they pour more concrete, which leaves less area for water to spread. So, and the council don't seem too concerned about that issue either.
Brinston said she planned to proceed with a disputes tribunal hearing. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, hundreds of runners take part in the Port FM Lovelock Memorial Run in Timaru, and Queenstown's Remarkables Primary School students get busy planting 100 native trees.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Just think, 80 years ago, this year, my grandfather set up Alex Campbell Menswear right on Cargill's Corner in South Dunedin. We've had some great years bringing Otago and Southland the very best of menswear for both business and everyday needs.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
The University of Otago, an institute of world-class education and the social epicentre of the city, with outfits needed for more formal functions like the ball and for less formal functions like
the zoo. Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, Dad, you'll definitely see me. I'm the one in the yellow and blue face paint and the onesie in the zoo.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
We're at 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focusing on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Welcome back. Hundreds of runners laced up their shoes to take part in the Port FM Lovelock Memorial Run in Timaru on Sunday. Children were the first off the mark, completing a 1,500 metre run around the sports grounds on Quarry Road. Next was the full race with half marathon runners and walkers taking on the course, looping through Timaru's Scenic Reserve, where the competitors walked or ran distances of 10 and 5 kilometres. For those not wanting to compete, a sausage sizzle and bouncy castle provided plenty of additional entertainment. Queenstown's remarkable primary school students were busy planting 100 native trees earlier this morning with the support of the Wakatipu Reforestation Trust and Project Crimson. New Zealand celebrity chef Josh Emmett was there to help. Mina Amso has more.
10-year-old Remarkable's primary student Kieran Leafley packing in the soil around a small broadleaf native tree he planted with his schoolmates.
Oh, it's really cool and fun.
He and other 170 students got their hands dirty planting 100 native trees including kowhai, coprosma, totara and flax in a small site near the school and Lake Wakatipu. The planting idea began 4 years ago when conservation charity Project Crimson partnered with Rata, a Queenstown restaurant owned by celebrity chef Josh Emmett. Emmett finds planting rather satisfying, much like being a chef.
When you are a chef, there's certain things that you make, whether it's a baker who likes to bake bread or a chef who loves to work with meat or fish or whatever, that you get a product in the end that you get huge satisfaction out of seeing the end result.
Project Crimson manager Melanie Seifert says the planting is pretty magical.
Through this planting, kids can come down here, they can develop numeracy and literacy skills, they can learn about the local landscape, learn about the local trees, learn about bird life, insect life, and really just become guardians of this amazing area.
And the students also enjoyed planting in the warm weather.
Yeah, pretty dirty, but it's fun. And there's nothing wrong with getting dirty. So.
Principal Debbie Dixon says the students are hoping to attract more native birds to the school as a result.
You can hear and see the buzz and the excitement of, it's a real bubbly atmosphere, which is just fantastic.
Dixon says the new cultural garden will get 200 more native plants over the next 2 years. And students will be guardians of the site, taking care of it with a little guidance from the experts. Mina Amso, The South Today.
The Northern Catlins area is now home to a beautifully restored school bus. However, the service offered by the bus these days is more aimed at adults. The South Today took a look.
Dunedin residents may remember the iconic Captain Cook Tavern bus that was in use prior to the tavern's closure in 2013. Well, that bus has now been lavishly restored to its original state by new owner Lyndon McNabb.
Most of it was aluminium, so it wasn't too bad, but this front end where all the metal work is had a fair bit of rust in it, and we had to replace this entire panel here with a whole new bit.
The restored 1960 school bus is now part of Lyndon and Jade McNabb's wedding venue business at Kaka Point, and the colour scheme ties in with the fact that their wedding venue is a former schoolhouse.
After much debate, we decided on going back to the original Department of Education colours that they came out with when they were built here in this one, 1957.
The bus is available for hire to ferry wedding parties around the Kaka Point area, as well as for other functions. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, police release audio of Bill English recalling the secret recordings taken by controversial MP Todd Barclay, and the 2017 World Jet Boat Marathon moves south to the Waitaki River in Otago.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Just think, 80 years ago, this year, my grandfather set up Alex Campbell Menswear right on Cargill's Corner in South Dunedin. We've had some great years, bringing Otago and Southland the very best of menswear for both business and everyday needs.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Thanks for staying with us. Police have today released audio with Bill English in which he recalls a conversation with former MP Todd Barclay about secret recordings. The police investigation began after Mr Barclay's former electric staff member Glenys Dixon complained Barclay had secretly recorded her private conversations. The release has been made on the day Winston Peters and New Zealand First hold a meeting to decide who to form the next government with. Peters repeatedly attacked English over the matter using parliamentary question time to ask why he sent 450 texts to Dixon in a year, some in the middle of the night. At the time, Peters said English had been complicit in the cover-up and should resign. There appears to have been a reprieve for some of the Queenstown school bus services due to the cut by the Ministry of Education. In a clarification today, Otago Regional Council Chief Executive Peter Boudica said Ministry of Education buses will continue for Arrowtown, Lake Hayes and other areas until Queenstown's new public $2 bus service can provide the necessary frequency, capacity and timing. The Ministry of Education's decision to end school bus services was greeted with shock when it was announced end of September. Mayor Jim Bolt said commuters might be put off the new public service due to start later next month if they were full of school pupils. However, today Mayor Bolt said the decision to keep some school bus services running was common sense. The 2017 World Jet Boat Marathon moves south from Canterbury to Otago today, with the day's racing on the Waitaki River. The South Today followed the noise.
The normally peaceful Waitaki was filled with the roar of some of the world's fastest jet boats today, competing in the 2017 World Jet Boat Marathon. Canadian competitor Rob Trunick said the courses were much more technical than those in North America.
It's a different form of racing. The courses are much more technical here. In North America, they're not difficult. They tend to be higher speed and more whitewater and stuff, but not the braided channels that you have here in New Zealand. So it puts a lot more emphasis on the navigator, in this type of conditions than it does in North America.
Jet boat racing is a team sport with service crews plus the assistance of an all-important navigator.
Typically what the navigator is doing is he's doing what's called navigating long. Like he's trying to put the pilot in the right spot for the next 300 or 400 meters, which is where the driver's driving short and the navigator's trying to make sure that he's putting the driver into the right spot. Very, very much like rally racing. These guys, they're not allowed to use GPSs, so you'll see them out pre-running the course and taking notes. And I guess the one difference with rally racing though is that literally the rivers can change overnight.
The Jet Boat Marathon will continue on the Matukituki, the Clutha and Dart rivers before finishing in Lake Wakatipu's Frankton Arm on Saturday afternoon. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Leading public health specialist Keith Rees says a new hospital is not the solution to Dunedin's wider health issues. A team of Invercargill filmmakers have made the grand final of the 48-hour film competition. And a woman is frustrated a property developer has felled a tree in Mosgiel. And now look what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome back, Barry Stewart. What have you got for us?
Hello, Melissa. Yes, some good stories tomorrow. Cromwell Motorsport Park Highlands is planning to develop a world-class golf resort and a 100-section property development. So an estimated $40 million project. So that's a pretty exciting development for that part of the world.
That would be great for Cromwell as well. Would be fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. And the Highlands, I think, is a pretty special place as well. So, yeah, some exciting things happening around there. So watch this space. Future of Otago Rescue Helicopter Trust and Heli Otago is uncertain. The Ministry of Health is making changes to rescue helicopter contracts nationally. So there's concern there as to its future. And talking of the future of weather in central Otago, well, it's predicted to be warmer, wetter, drier, and with more flooding and storms, and with far less snow on the mountains than is the case now. Now, that's all according, by the end of the century, and that's all according to new research. So look out for that.
So this is based on global warming effects?
No idea. Thanks for that question, but I haven't read it closely, but that's pretty much the summary of the research, and yes, it will be global warming, quite clearly. But yeah, so they do say that the weather is going to change, and there's some example of that. So have a read of that story and find out all the details. Yeah. Well, probably not a lot of skiing around central Otago anyway, but although I guess Queenstown is central Otago.
Queenstown, yeah, maybe.
There's a bit of skiing there.
Bit of skiing, just a bit.
Yeah. The All Blacks are named tomorrow morning, actually, to the team to play. Yes, they're still going to play Australia in the final of the championship. So that's on this weekend. So we'll have the names of that team. And also Nick Beard, former Otago cricketer, has roped in older Otago cricket teammates to shave their heads for camp quality.
Fantastic. Well, definitely a lot in tomorrow's ODT.
Indeed.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Barry Stewart. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silberhorn Collagen Plus.
Starting with today's southern view looking across Vogel Street towards Rattray Street. Looking at the situation, a large anticyclone will move closer to the country tomorrow, with warmer air from the interior of Australia arriving over southern districts. This will bring a couple of warm days before a cool southwesterly change and showers arrive in time for the weekend. To the southern outlook, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, you all have freshening northwesterlies, high cloud increasing in 19 degrees. Balclutha, you have the same but with a slightly higher 20 degrees. To the central outlook, Alexandra moderate northwesterlies 25 degrees, Queenstown the same and 20 degrees, and Wanaka moderate northwesterlies 23 degrees, and Te Anau slightly lower with cloud increasing and 17 degrees. To the northern outlook, Oamaru light northeasterlies fine and 20 degrees, Omarama moderate northwesterlies fine and 24 degrees, Timaru slightly lower 21 degrees with light northeasterlies, and Twizel moderate northwesterlies fine and 23 degrees. Here in Dunedin tonight, it's fine and cold with an overnight low of 4 degrees. Warmer tomorrow with moderate northerly winds developing and mostly sunny skies. You reach a high of 19 and a low of 11. High cloud increasing on Friday with warm northwesterlies, but a cool southwesterly change during the evening will bring some showers, a high of 21 and a low of 9. Early showers clearing and sunny periods increasing on Saturday with fresh cool southwesterlies easing, a high of 13. And in Invercargill tonight, some cloud and an overnight low of 8 degrees. Milder northwesterlies freshening tomorrow with high cloud increasing, a high of 19 and a low of 11. Cloudy on Friday with rain developing during the afternoon, fresh warm northwesterly winds, a high of 17 and a low of 9. Cloudy on Saturday with showers and fresh cool southwesterlies, a high of 13. And that's our news for this Wednesday. For the latest news from the South Today team, you can follow us on Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. I hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.